Podcast title, Reef Talk, Exploring the World of Coral Reefs. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ocean Wonders. I'm Alice.
And I'm Ben. Today, we're diving into the vibrant and fascinating world of coral reefs. These underwater ecosystems are not only stunning to look at, but they're also incredibly important to the health of our oceans and the planet.
That's right, Ben. Coral reefs are often referred to as the rainforests of the sea because of their incredible biodiversity. But before we get into their importance, let's start with the basics. What exactly is a coral reef?
Great place to start, Alice. A coral reef is a large underwater structure composed of the skeletons of colonial marine invertebrates called corals. These corals are tiny, soft-bodied organisms related to sea anemones and jellyfish. They secrete calcium carbonate to form a hard, protective skeleton, which over time builds up to create the reef structure.
Coral reefs are primarily found in warm, shallow waters of the tropics and subtropics. They need sunlight to thrive because the corals have a symbiotic relationship with a type of algae called zooxanthellae. These algae live inside the coral tissues and perform photosynthesis, providing the corals with energy.
In return, the corals provide the algae with a safe environment and the compounds they need for photosynthesis. This relationship is crucial because it helps build the structure of the reef and supports a diverse range of marine life.
Speaking of marine life, coral reefs are home to about 25% of all marine species, despite covering less than 1% of the ocean floor. This includes thousands of species of fish, mollusks, crustaceans, and other sea creatures.
Exactly. The complex structures of coral reefs provide shelter, food, and breeding grounds for these species. This biodiversity is not only important for the health of the ocean but also has significant implications for human communities.
Let's talk about some of those implications. Coral reefs provide numerous benefits to humans. For one, they act as natural barriers, protecting coastlines from the impacts of storms and erosion. The complex structure of the reef dissipates wave energy, reducing the damage that storms can cause to coastal communities.
That's a critical function, especially as climate change increases the frequency and intensity of storms. Coral reefs also have economic value. They attract tourists from around the world, supporting local economies through tourism and recreational activities like diving and snorkeling.
Additionally, coral reefs are a source of food for millions of people. Many communities rely on the fish and other marine life that inhabit these reefs for their daily sustenance. Reefs also contribute to medical research, as many marine organisms have unique compounds that can be used to develop new medicines.
Despite their importance, coral reefs are facing numerous threats. Climate change is perhaps the biggest threat, causing ocean temperatures to rise and leading to coral bleaching. When water temperatures get too high, the symbiotic relationship between the corals and the zooxanthellae breaks down, causing the corals to expel the algae. This results in the corals losing their color and, more critically, their main source of energy.
Bleached corals are more susceptible to disease, and if the stressful conditions persist, they can die. Another major threat is ocean acidification, which occurs as the ocean absorbs more carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. This changes the water's chemistry, making it harder for corals to produce their calcium carbonate skeletons.
Overfishing and destructive fishing practices, such as using dynamite or cyanide, also pose significant threats to coral reefs. These practices can destroy the physical structure of the reef and deplete the populations of fish and other marine species that are crucial for the reef's health.
Pollution is another issue. Runoff from agriculture, untreated sewage, and plastic waste all contribute to the degradation of coral reefs. Nutrient pollution from fertilizers can lead to algal blooms that block sunlight and deplete oxygen in the water, further stressing the corals.
It's clear that coral reefs are under significant pressure, but there are efforts underway to protect and restore them. Marine protected areas, MPAs, are one strategy being used to conserve coral reefs. These areas restrict human activities to reduce stress on the ecosystems and allow them to recover.
Another promising approach is coral restoration. Scientists are developing techniques to grow coral fragments in nurseries and then transplant them back onto damaged reefs. These efforts can help speed up the recovery of coral populations and increase the resilience of the reefs.
There's also a lot of exciting research into breeding heat-resistant corals. By selectively breeding corals that can withstand higher temperatures, scientists hope to create more resilient reefs that can survive in a warming world.
Public awareness and education are also crucial. The more people understand the importance of coral reefs and the threats they face, the more likely they are to support conservation efforts. Sustainable tourism practices can help ensure that visitors enjoy the beauty of coral reefs without causing harm.
Indeed, everyone can play a role in protecting coral reefs. Simple actions like reducing carbon footprints, avoiding the use of harmful chemicals, supporting sustainable seafood choices, and being mindful when visiting reefs can make a big difference.
It's inspiring to see so many people and organizations dedicated to the conservation of coral reefs. These efforts give us hope that, with concerted action, we can preserve these incredible ecosystems for future generations.
Absolutely. Coral reefs are not just beautiful underwater landscapes. They are vital to the health of our oceans and our planet. Protecting them is essential for the well-being of countless marine species and human communities alike.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you found our discussion on coral reefs both informative and inspiring. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out.
Thank you for joining us today. Until next time, keep exploring and protecting our amazing oceans.
Take care, everyone.